welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. Yeah, you know, at this channel we're a group of law-abiding citizens. As you can look at your LCD, you will see that this man, his name is Thompson. He's one of the most corrupt commissioner of police that the Jamaica Constabulary Force has ever seen, and the Jamaican people. Thompson was one of the most corrupt commissioner of police. He was Zeke's in the commissioner's police chair, and he's the reason why why Colonel Trevor Macmillan was appointed commissioner of police, and the dismantling of the security apparatus that have been used to curtail crime in Jamaica because of this man. This is the man who is responsible for the corruption in the police force, continues from 1989, and that's where it all started, and that's why we are in this debacle right now. Yes, I was a young police officer when this man was appointed commissioner of police. You know, he was at the back of the class when he was going to school, fully dunce, fully PMP LGBTQ plus police in uniform, but was Zeke's in the commissioner of police chair. Yes, he's one of the most corrupt. I know that a lot of people have been saying that O.L. Ellington is the most corrupt, but we haven't done anything about him per se, in which we need to educate the people. Because look, this is it. None of us, we are not perfect human beings. But the thing is that for us here at the Jamaica Young Police channel, if you have done something in the past that you are ashamed of, nothing is wrong for you to apologize for it. But don't say that we at the Jamaica Young Police channel is lying on you, because we do not do such thing. To those who feel that the facts that we have been highlighting about them and they want to correct it, yes, you can come to the Jamaica Young Police channel and you can correct the same. There's a number. We are not hiding from anyone, because we are not thieves and we don't owe anyone anything. We at the Jamaica Young Police channel, we did our time and that's it. All we at the Jamaica Young Police channel as a group of people, we are on Team Jamaica. We are not on any other team. That's Team Jamaica. And we don't care who is supporting Team Jamaica. We don't want it. This is not a political movement, and this is all about Team Jamaica, to restore Jamaica to decency, ethics, and the upliftment of the people. To my loyal subscribers and viewers, I know that you have been asking me for some time now, who is Jamaica's most corrupt commissioner of police? And some people have resoundingly said it was Mr. Owen Ellington, who is the most corrupt commissioner of police. And I must admit that based on all the investigation done by this channel, and from information received and obtained, and from various group of people, police, civilian, all over in Jamaica, and even in the intelligence community in the United States of America, yes, he is dubbed one of the most corrupt, if not the most corrupt. But for the moment, we are going to give you, Thompson. Yeah, man, that man from Portland. It seems like Portland is a parish that, where some people just leave their morals, ethics when they arrive in Kingston to do all the dirty deeds for their political party, to destroy the country in quest of gaining wealth and status in society. And after everything what this man had done to destroy the police force with corruption, yes, the PMP government at the time rewarded him and turned him into the Custos of Portland. So that's how it is, So when you're in the PMP LGBTQ plus party, a part of their apparatus, you have to commit, when you commit criminal acts, they reward you or your ears. So as you can see, Tony Brown from East Kingston, one of Jamaica's most wanted men back in the 1980s. Remember that this man, he and Jad Flash, even after they killed Ted Olgively, they were in a shootout with two policemen who were on foot patrol in the community where they killed the man. And both men escaped, and they were in Cuba for many years, and when they returned to Jamaica, they returned to an Heroes celebration sponsored by the Jamaica government and by the Prime Minister P.J. Patterson. So that's how it is, when you're a criminal, the PNP party, laud you, revere you, and support you. You understand? We're not saying that the other party does not have their flaws too, but we want both political parties to denounce criminality, because the Jamaican people, they're tired of it. And some of the police officers in the police force are responsible for what is happening even right at this day. Today, yes, and we're just talking mama papa truth. So, the truth hurt only the guilty. We are not here to make any political defense of any political party, because both of them, they're not the same, but they have criminals within their ranks. But they don't. The difference is that we haven't seen the JLP LGBTQ plus party rewarded people who are connected to persons related to them in the political spectrum. So you have to give it's criminality, but it's just a different kind of criminality. So that no criminal organization cannot survive without the help of the police. And that's what Roy Thompson's job was when he was appointed. Because you have to understand, you have to be corrupt for these people to, laud you, celebrate and revere you. So, yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To my loyal subscribers and viewers at the channel, we're a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law, where no one is above the law and everyone is treated equally under the law. Everyone is held accountable to the same law. There are transparent and fair process for enforcing laws. There is an independent judiciary, in which we do not have that in Jamaica. That is what we were wishing for. We don't have that as yet. And human rights are guaranteed for all. And we respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We at the Jamaica Young Police channel do believe in and support preemptive strikes because it saves life. Yes, and we're all about saving life, not taking life. Saves life. That's what we're all about. Before we continue the journey, if this is the first time to the channel, please consider subscribing. Yes, subscribe to the Jamaica Young Police channel. It doesn't cost a dime, a penny, a nickel, a pence, or a peso. Or a ruble. Yeah, ruble is Russian money. What about? That's what they over there. And most importantly, it won't clog your phone memory, because subscription does not affect your cell phone memory by clicking on the subscription button. Click on the bell and select all, so that when we at the Jamaica Young Police channel release a video, you are the first person to get notification of the same. Like the video. Yes, like the video. Yes, share the video. And most importantly, comment below. Yes, I can tell you that one of the most corrupt commissioner of police is none other than Roy Thompson. Yes, Roy Thompson. Not only that he was fully done, but he was a PNP LGBTQ plus activist. Yes, Zeeks. He was Zeeks in the commissioner of police chair. You understand? Criminal. This man, Roy Thompson, he broke every police rule, regulation and standard of operating principles when he was commissioner of police. In February 1989, when Michael Manley and the PNP party won the general election and became the government of Jamaica, that is when the lawlessness started to poke out its ugly head with a new life, because the father of criminality returned to power, and one who had destroyed my community of Jonestown, Kingston 12, by sending young men to Cuba to train in guerrilla warfare, weapon and explosive training, and these men returned to Jamaica, they unleashed a new form of terrorism on the Jamaican people that they had never seen or experienced before then. They were the champion of the poor too, giving the poor guns to chase out their opponents from various communities in the Kingston metropolitan areas, and some from my communities of Jonestown, Kingston 12, who were labelled as JLP supporters, were given ultimatum to leave Jonestown, Kingston 12 or face death. These threats were made because it was all about votes. Some of these people migrated to Central Village, Spanish Town, St. Catherine. We had a very ethical commissioner of police then, Mr. Herman Ricketts, and he was replaced by Roy Thompson, one of the worst ever to serve as commissioner of police. Mr. Thompson's tenure has all the hallmarks of a corrupt commissioner of police. And here are some of the things that this man had done in the name of the PMP LGBTQ plus government. One, yes, he issued license firearms to the leader of the Gullymen posse, Magura Gully, and he was a convicted murderer. When Roy Thompson issued license firearm to this man was in federal prison in America. The American embassy made the Jamaican people known. It's because of all the corruption why this man, I'm telling you, that this commissioner of police, when he demits office, the Jamaican people realize the amount of corruption that he has committed in the name of the PMP LGBTQ plus government. But Jamaican people, they love corrupt leaders, they love corrupt politicians, they love corruption. And I can tell you, you won't find it on the internet. It is not like the Jamaican media houses, like the American media house, where they archive their reporting and you can access it. No. In Jamaica, they archive it, but you have to pay for it. It's not like America that you can go back even 100 years on the internet and see information about things that happen and you don't have to pay for it. In Jamaica, they make sure that you have to pay for it. That's how it is. So, it's a criminal's paradise. Everything they have to shake down people. So, this man, Roy Thompson, yes, and he issued a gun to Delroy Uzi Edwards, and he issued a license firearm to Buffy from Spade Corner, Kingston 13. Yeah, and Buffy is the man who is responsible for killing Mark Jati Thomas from Tivoli Garden. That's the brother of Dudu Skoke. It is alleged that he issued firearm to Willie Agat, William Moore, and every PMP LGBTQ plus bad man. Buffy from Spade Corner. How Buffy loses his gun license. Remember, Buffy went to prison in America and was deported. And he's so stupid and naive that when Doc from Fitzgerald Avenue, yes, Doc was wanted for murder for years. And, the police at Huntsville could not catch him. And one Saturday night, when we were on team, Bobby Reds, Rock Steve and Kirk Palmer and Ruben Gunter, and we decided that Saturday night that we were going to find him, and we started from Maxfield Avenue. Yes, I am telling you, we started from Maxfield Avenue, and we started to go from house to house in the night. At the time we didn't have any police vest, and catch this man. Yes, we caught him. And I want to tell you that it's what it, so after we had caught, we catch him, and Buffy was so stupid that he's a deportee and he had a license firearm. You understand? I don't know how he get all the clean bill of health, and it was a detective corporal at the time named Cecil Lewis. It's Cecil Lewis Shaggy who took away his gun, came in the CIB office at Huntsville to look for a wanted man, a man who wanted for murder with his extended clip, like he's a police and talking big because it is his party that is in power. You understand? And Shaggy disarm him, and the rest is he lost his license firearm because he should not have it in the first place. But nothing happened to Roy Thompson, because you understand. So it's just the same thing that is continuing even right now with the FLA. Thousands of corrupt, convicted criminals getting clean police record in Jamaica. So Jamaica is a criminal's paradise. So we continue the journey. So the Commissioner of Police would transfer police officers who were effective in fighting, detecting and preventing crimes in Jamaica. If the PMP Member of Parliament disapproved of the police officer enforcing the laws of Jamaica and was a known comrade, then you would be transferred to another division. So what they did when Roy Thompson was Commissioner of Police, if you was an hard-working police officer enforcing the laws of Jamaica, and you're not doing it to the satisfaction of the Member of Parliament by ignoring your conscience, not arresting people who committed crime, then you're fine. But once you're enforcing the law, they're going to transfer you, and they transfer you from the east part of Jamaica to the west part. So they transfer you in a way to punish you, to make it say, look, if you interfere with our people who are committing crime, this is what is going to happen to you, because we in charge of the government, we have the levers of government, and we're going to use it against those who see you are enemies. So I was labeled as one of their enemies, yes, by the PMP LGBTQ plus party, because I had refused at my police station to publicly say that I am a PMP LGBTQ plus activist in uniform as a police officer. You understand? So I was the victim of the same, as I was transferred from Clarendon to St. Elizabeth with the blessing of the members of the Police Federation. Yes, I saw them at Mapen. Retired Senior Superintendent James Swabs is one of them that a lot of people talking about. Is a good guy. Good guy what? James Swabs is no good guy. James Swabs is a corrupt police officer, because he was one of them who was responsible for my transfer from Clarendon to St. Elizabeth when he was at the Police Federation. He and a sergeant named Dooley from Brandon Hill, Clarendon. Yes. Sergeant Dooley, who is a known PMP LGBTQ plus activist, who called me a traitor for doing my job. Imagine, at the time I was a young police officer, and because I was told to stop arresting residents in my police district who were committing crime and had warrants of arrest at the Crofts Hill Police Station, Clarendon, and I did not heed to what the instruction that they gave me, and I was enforcing the law, I was transferred. So you see the corruption in the police force then. And I don't know if it is still going on, people getting transferred because of political victimization, because you're not doing what they want you to do. So I was enforcing the law, and for that I was punished. Transfer from Clarendon to St. Elizabeth. Yeah, but when they do things like that, it was either for you to resign or you just continue the journey. But I did not resign. I just continued the journey. I just continued the journey. And all I was doing my job. I was a member of the police force, and I was executing the warrants on these people who were parasites to the community, which is in rural Jamaica. What the PMP government at the time, along with their operatives and surrogates, did, including police officer Sergeant Garnet Hyde and others, was to create lies and propaganda against me and the late Inspector Lloyd Scott, because we refused to publicly state that we were PMP police officers and would do everything to protect the party to stay in power, and refused to take their oaths of allegiance to the PMP party as they have done. My oath was to the Jamaican Constitution and the Jamaican people, period. And because of where I was born and raised, and it was on my police file, they thought that because of where I'm from, that my job was to be a PMP surrogate police officer and not a police officer to enforce the law in Jamaica. So part of the strategy is to get rid of the present Commissioner of Police then and put in place someone who was credentialed as a PMP activist, are impeccably reliable, solidly supported, a distinguished supporter of the PMP LGBTQ plus government, and that was Roy Thompson. The only reason is that he is in uniform. There was no reason for anyone to report these concerns to the Police Service Commission that this man was a PMP LGBTQ plus activist, then Roy Thompson, as they were not interested in having a decent, honest, ethical and contemporary police commissioner, as the PMP party had faith in their man Roy Thompson. When Roy Thompson was Commissioner of Police, he issued many license firearms to convicted drug dealers who were deported at the time. Buffet from Spade Corner, Kingston 13. The man who was responsible for the death of Jati Coke from Tivoli Gardens, which occurred along Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13, within the headquarters of Sunlight Street Crew, led by the late druggist and Don Robert Radigan Davis, who was issued a license gun to by the Commissioner of Police, Roy Thompson. And Roy Thompson was one of the most corrupt Commissioner of Police that Michael Manley appointed. On March 16, 1992, Jamaica Prime Minister Michael Manley announced in a national broadcast that he would resign on March 28 because of poor health, ending a family political dynasty that led the Caribbean island to independence. Manley 67 said his ruling People's National Party would meet on March 28 to select a new party leader. Manley's decision to step down from office had been rumoured since his latest bout with pneumonia. He had undergone 5 operations in recent years, including surgery for prostate cancer and diverticulitis. Diverticular disease and diverticulitis are digestive conditions affecting the large intestine, the colon. In diverticular disease, small bulges of or pocket diverticula develop in the lining of the intestine. Diverticulitis is when these pockets become inflamed or infected. Remember, Michael Manley had kicked PJ Patterson out of his cabinet because of alleged impropriety or dishonest act as a government minister. And guess what? Nothing happened and no investigation opened into his misdeeds of alleged corruption. Yes, remember, it's Roy Thompson is Commissioner of Police. Nothing happened. Patterson, who has said he would restore business confidence in Jamaica, was forced to resign from the cabinet in January after granting a $1.4 million tax waiver to Shell. But he claimed he did not benefit from the grant. So if you want to believe PJ Patterson, yes, I have butter that you cannot put it in the sun and it melts. After a career in the Jamaica Defence Force, Colonel Trevor Macmillan was appointed police commissioner in 1993, a move that broke with tradition given that he needed formal police training before appointment. So you see how Jamaica is now, because they are the one that created this problem, you know, that appointed a corrupt person to lead the police force, and then after all the corruption has been highlighted to the Jamaican people, then the same party, you know, the same corrupt political government, the same government that's in power, they're telling the Jamaican people that, well, you know, the police force is so corrupt they cannot police themselves, so we have to bring somebody from the outside. They are the one that corrupt the police force, you know. Then they are telling the people, you saw these people, they are like tree cardsmen, they are con artists, fool the people, keep fooling them, when they are the one that corrupt the police force. So this was the reward for Colonel Trevor Macmillan, and you'll heard about his deeds before this man became commissioner of police. And the poor people love him, you know. Yes, the Jamaican poor people love him, and he was the one that promote lawlessness in the Jamaican society because these people hate police, you know. Colonel Trevor Macmillan was a man who was under investigation for thieving money. Yes, for allegedly thieving money from the soldiers when they went to Grenada when they killed Maurice Bishop. I was in high school then. So it's not like Colonel Trevor Macmillan was a man who was clean. The man was tainted. But that's how it is in Jamaica, you know. The people in Jamaica, you know, the elitists, you know, they know all their corrupt friends, you know, and they make sure they put them in high places to protect them. So it's a corrupt system, you know. And what we want it to be dismantled. And it's still going on even this day. So we'll continue the journey. So let's not forget, you know, who had appointed Roy Thompson as Commissioner of Police. It was the same PMP LGBTQ plus party that is the government that appointed him. And when PJ Patterson became Prime Minister, he got rid of Roy Thompson because he was Commissioner of Police when Michael Manley found out that he was deeply connected to the Shell Weaver scandal and Iran sugar deal. So PJ Patterson, you know, although he is corrupt, you know, he did not want somebody who is there, you know, who have his number. Because Roy Thompson is corrupt, you know, a thief, you know. Just like allegedly as PJ Patterson with the Shell Weaver scandal. So PJ Patterson did not want to know that the Commissioner of Police have any secret for him. So he just get rid of him. You understand? This black boy chat too much, you know. I'm going to tell Michael, say boy, him and him friend them and the auditor them, say boy, oh me involved in a Iran sugar deal and Shell Weaver scandal, and you understand? And if me even get my 10%, oh, nothing wrong with that. So that's how it is, you know. So we continue the journey. However, his tenure ended in 1996. That's Macmillan, you know. His tenure ended in 1996 amidst differences with then Prime Minister P.J. Patterson. And during this time, you know, I can tell you this, you know, they dismantle, you know, the police force, you know, Macmillan, you know. Yes, everything that was effective in curtailing crime, we had a division, they call it special operation. The Jamaican people know it as eradication base. These police officers, you know, when they came in, they get rid of the parasites, you know. So all the bad men, them had to run away from Jamaica because they know that it's a different sheriff now in town. The PMP and the Macmillan, they dismantled it. Downtown used to be controlled by police, the capital of Jamaica. You know what the PMP government did then with the appointment of Macmillan? With everything, you know, that the British gave us, that was to maintain order that they had passed down to us from slavery until independence. We had a division called Beat and Foot that would patrol downtown Kingston, and people were elderly and, you know, who were born in the 50s, there about Kingston, and yeah, they would tell you that at nights, Beat and Foot police, they would patrol the streets of Kingston 24/7, and at night they would wear their black tunic to patrol. And you know what, Macmillan scrapped that division. Beat and Foot police, those young police officers were fearless because they just came from training school, you know, and you know that they don't take talk, you know. And these police officers were very effective in downtown in maintaining law. And Colonel Trevor Macmillan, along with, so this was a gift, you know. They dismantle Beat and Foot, get rid of Beat and Foot, and hand over the capital of Kingston to Dudus and Zeeks. That is what P.J. Patterson did. They scrap it. Everything that the British had left in place that keep the Jamaican people safe and everything was, fine, they scrap it. So anything that works in terms of policing, they scrap it. They use Macmillan and scrap it. So you have to get a criminal to put in criminals policy that beneficial to the criminals. You understand? So over the year, the political parties have left no doubts in the mind of the Jamaican people's mind that they take bribes, kickback, and indulge in corrupt practices in and out of government. In fact, for the past decade, Jamaica has been reckoned as one of the most corrupt countries in the world. The World Bank said so, you know. I've spoken repeatedly about this phenomenon of corruption, and some member of the police force past and current are so naive and blinded by their political loyalty that whenever they see corruption in front of their eyes, they ignore the same because of their affinity to their political party and not to the betterment of Jamaica. Although Roy Thompson was corrupt, I do believe that the Commissioner of Police, Major Anthony Anderson, is more corrupt than him. And I will tell you why. If you are a young, energetic and overzealous police officer and I want you to listen to me keenly, because the police force and this Commissioner of Police have zero tolerance for honest police officers. Zero tolerance, yes. Honest police officers, if the Commissioner of Police, the made police commissioner, were a good, ethical, decent and honest police commissioner who had zero law enforcement certification, he would have promoted Sergeant Hubert Llewellyn for his role in the corruption case involved former SSP James Swabbs, who was arrested and charged with corruption, convicted for corruption, and was acquitted by the Court of Appeal. Because you know, in Jamaica, if you're a corrupt police officer, you know that they are the one who in charge of the system, so they protect you. Remember that James Swabbs, what James Swabbs was doing, you know, he wasn't doing it for himself, you know. He was doing it for the elites. And you have to understand, you know, that don't think that these judges, you know, are people that live in a vacuum. These are people who have their neighbors, they have their friends, their schoolmates, and they are, all of them, they have their friends, so they have their cronies. So it's a corrupt system. You understand? So that's why he was acquitted at the appeal court with a one statement. You understand? So that's how it is. That's Jamaica for you, the criminal's paradise. And people talking about this Commissioner of Police is better than her. It's not. And that's one of the reasons. Because if you know, you understand, if you has given evidence against a corrupt member of parliament and corrupt senior superintendent of police, and you are being penalized for being honest, the Commissioner of Police and the police force is penalizing Hubert Llewellyn for being honest, that means that the police force is a criminal organization. Because if Sergeant Hubert Llewellyn is supposed to be the poster child for honest, decency and ethical police officer, but no, Jamaica is a criminal's paradise. He's been punished to this day. The only thing that why they haven't killed him is because they know that it would look so bad, because the Jamaican people would know that it's the labor rights them kill him because of what he has done with Darrell Vaz. So to prevent that, they haven't done him anything. And it's really sad. We live in, Jamaican people are living in a criminal colony. Remember, you know, Jamaica, you know, it's a place, it is a place, you know, the headquarters of the Buccaneers and the Pirates. Jamaica was one of the wickedest places on earth back then, you know. You can go on the channel and you will see, just look. So that's why our politicians are inherently corrupt, and the officials in Jamaica, the ones who are not corrupt, they do not have the Pirates or the Buccaneers genes. So that's why the people who are speaking up and who have spoke up against corruption in Jamaica, if you do a DNA, none of these people have the Pirates and Buccaneer genes. They have straight African genes. Because the Pirates and Buccaneers, they were criminals. Remember, you know, Jamaica, you know, were back then, you know, even Henry Morgan, you know, governor of Jamaica, was a murderer and a robber, you know. So that's we have it in a different nuance in 2023. You know, it's a different kind of Buccaneers and Pirates we have in Jamaica now. They penalize Sergeant Hubert Llewellyn, man, because of the man honesty. You know, so that is why I am imploring and begging you, young police officers, to migrate and leave the police force, because the force is still or even more corrupt. And if you do not believe me, look at the case involving the Prime Minister's lawyer, Mr. Patrick Bailey, in which there is no breaking and entering into the house, which was occupied by two persons, and one is dead. The person who is alive never faced any criminal charges for the death of the other one. And the commissioner of police, if he were a decent, honest, ethical, and impartial man, he would make sure that the dead man family receive justice, which is elusive in Jamaica. So that goes to show, these people are very corrupt. You understand? I am going to show you that Jamaica is a criminal's paradise in the Caribbean Sea, with the top political leader enjoying immunity from prosecution for its crime. Do you remember PMP LGBTQ plus member of parliament, Ian Eales? Yes. Who has done everything to hide his alleged corrupt deeds? Yes, the man used the court to hide his corrupt deeds, and it was revealed like 2 weeks ago. Silence. So they refer Ian Eales and his wife to the police for an investigation. Let's see what is going to happen, because they protect each other. That's how it is, the corruption in Jamaica. Significantly, we have seen it in the studied reluctance of successive governments to put in place robust legislation with teeth which can drive an effective nail in the coffin of corruption. If you pardon the pun, that's people who can think. Jamaica has been slow in creating an integrated police force that can solidify the fight against corruption. The existing corruption bodies, the existing anti-corruption bodies such as MOCA, FIDS, the Office of the Contractor General, Independent Commission of Investigation, and even the Auditor General Department have been starved of capital and the requisite staff to do their work effectively. Anyone who thinks that it is not deliberate on the part of the powers that be will easily believe that there is a kind of butter that cannot be melted in the Sahara Desert. When I think we go even as far as that, we are talking, just put it out in front and everything there, in a sea view, Waterford, or anywhere in Kingston, because Kingston is the hottest place in Jamaica, because it doesn't have the amount of trees like rural Jamaica. So that's why the people in Kingston are always at. What we have is a corrupt commissioner of police in Major Anthony Anderson, who has no business being the top cop. Yes. Although Roy Thompson, came through the ranks, he was corrupt. He did not use his office to enforce the law of Jamaica as Commissioner of Police. He used his office to protect his political allies in the PMP LGBTQ plus party from criminal prosecution. Roy Thompson, although he was corrupt, Owen Ellington was more corrupt than any other commissioner of police. And I will tell you why he is and not Roy Thompson. Today is February 5th, 2023 at about 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I can tell you that what they are doing is not modernizing the police force, but trying to portray the same as a corporation, as a business entity, and not a law enforcement agency with celebrity commissioner of police, Major Anthony Anderson, whose love for the cameras is always on the street. The problems of corruption is systemic and endemic with no end in sight. And the Jamaican people are tired of the corruption from the fake wannabe top cop who do not know what it is like to be a police officer. Yes, there it is. One of Jamaica's most corrupt commissioner of police, Roy Thompson, fully done commissioner of police, who got rich from being the top cop in Jamaica. Yes, Jamaica is a criminal's paradise in the Caribbean, even in 2023. Thanks for watching the Jamaica Young Police channel. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police channel out. One love.